Can you hear me? So if you can say, what am I saying? If you can hear me, you can just say hi in the comments so that I know you can hear me and we can start. Okay, awesome. So let's just go ahead and start today's class. Why is my glasses bending one side? Okay, so our topic for today, right? Okay, just give me a second. So our topic for today will be introduction to UI UX design tools, right? So we'll be learning about some tools and the one that is mostly used by UI UX designers today, which is Figma, right? So we'll be doing a deep dive into Figma and learning about Figma and how to use it, right, in our as UI UX designers. So without wasting much of your time, let's just get started. So I'm about to share my screen. If you can see my screen, just leave me an emoji, your favorite one at that. You can just leave me an emoji. Um, okay. All right. So let me welcome everyone to today's class, right? So let's just go ahead and get started. So, like I said earlier, our topic for today, right, will be or is introduction to UI UX design tools, right? So the first tool we're going to be learning about today is Balsamic, right? So, Balsamic is basically a wireframing tool, right? You can just use it to do basically like that's what you can only use Balsamic to do wireframing, right? And like I said last time, right? We'll be going into we'll learn more about wireframing. We'll learn more about all these terms as we progress in the course, right? So basically, let me just give us an overview of what a wireframe is, right? So a wireframe is like the skeletal structure of your application or anything, right? It's just made up of gray colors, lines, and basic shapes, right? So that's what a wireframe is. It's just a skeletal structure of your application or yeah, your application basically. So that's what you use Balsamic to do, right? So the wireframing tool that focuses on rapid UI sketching, so it allows designers to quickly sketch and iterate UI concept during early stages of the design. So that's what you use Balsamic to do, right? While we will not be doing a deep dive into Balsamic, it's important to know some of these tools, right? So you can take that down in your notes and like at your own free time, go ahead and look out or look for go ahead and search for Balsamic and understand and you can learn on your own what it is and how to use it, right? So we also look at Miro, right? Miro is a collaborative canvas for visual collaboration. It facilitates brainstorming, planning, and collaborative ideation for teams. So it's basically an ideation tool, right? It just has so many features that you can use for ideation, like notes and all those amazing features. It's really a great tool, right, for ideation and all, right? So we have Prototype, right? Prototype is a tool, right? It's used basically for advanced prototyping, right? So a tool for interactive prototyping. Prototype allows you to breathe life into your design with advanced animations and interactions for creating interactive prototypes that truly convey user experience, right? So that's what Prototype is for. Then we have Canva, which is I don't know if it's the most popular, but it's a really popular one, right? A collaborative design platform that allows real-time collaboration, prototyping, and design iteration, right? So yeah, basically that's what it is. It's browser based, right? It makes it accessible from anywhere and fostering seamless teamwork. It's not only browser based though, it also has a desktop application which you can download and use, but it's also web based yeah, browser based as mentioned. Yes, that means you can actually work from anywhere, right? Even if you're not with your laptop and maybe you are somewhere else, you need to quickly work on something on your Figma file. You can just easily, log in and use have access to your work, right? So we also have other tools, other design tools like UIZ, right? We have InVision, we also have Sketch. So all these are UI UX design tools that you can actually use apart from Figma to actually get work done. So I hope you're taking notes in this class, right? So you can as well just go and look out all these tools and learn about them, right? It's really important to actually learn how to use more than one tool. But for the purpose of this course, we are going to be focusing on Figma, right? So um, I would go ahead and okay, let me log out from my account. Very good. Okay, so let me just go incognito so that we'll look at Figma from would I say a new user's perspective. So let me just go to figma.com, right? So you should also do this as well, right? Creating your own Figma account. Maybe probably it will be one of your assignments, right? So this is Figma. Right, so this is what Figma looks like. Once you just type in figma.com, this is the interface you're going to see, right, as a new person. So these are all the amazing things you can do with Figma, right? So this is what their website looks like. This is what Figma's website looks like. So we have their products. You have Figma, right, which is your design tool. Then we have FigJam, which is for ideation and brainstorming and stuff like that, right? Similar to Miro. So that's what you can do here. So there are different plan. This is for enterprise though. So you have different pricing plans, right? You have the free, you have the professional, the organization, and the enterprise, right? So you can see the price for each of them, but you're going to start with the free one, right? So that's basically it. That's for the pricing on Figma, right? So they have resources, they have templates, and they just basically they have resources. You can just look at them on your own, and they also have the Figma community, right? Where you can find so many resources and all. All right. So this is basically the Figma for design. Then they have the FigJam for whiteboard and like I said for brainstorming and sharing ideas, collaboration and all stuff like that. So they also have pricing for that one as well, right? But you can get started for free, right? So if you are new to Figma, what you would have to do is to go ahead and click this link right here to create your free account, which is basically to sign up, right? So you just can go ahead and sign up with your email, right? Or you can actually create an account with your email and password and agree to their well, if you want to do so, but you can this is where you can create your account, right? So I already have a Figma account, right? So I'll just go ahead and use mine. So I just came here so that we can see how to actually the first step to actually get started on Figma, which is creating your free Figma account, right? So once you've done that, right, you'll be brought to a page like this. So this is um, Figma's interface, right? So once you log into Figma, this is like the home page, like let me just call it that. But this is where you land, right? Once you are logged in. So now we're going to be looking at everything here and trying to understand how to use them, right? So we have this top navigation bar here, right? Here you can see a plus sign with design file, and we can see a plus sign with Fig Jamboard. But before I actually proceed, let me know if you all are following me, right? Okay. Someone said the slide is blurry. Really? Wow. Okay. Okay, I'll just I'm sorry about that. Okay, so let me just pull up my screen again and you can let me know in the comments if you can see my screen, right? So I'll just go back. Uh okay, shared. So let me just should I start afresh? Okay. Give me a second. Okay, so can you see my screen now? Please, if you can see my screen, just say yes. Can you see my screen now? Just say yes. Okay, okay, great. So okay. So all right. So this is Figma, right? When you just type in give me a second, in your browser, you just type in figma.com, right? Figma.com. This is the landing page or the home page, right? So we'll just scroll through this page. Okay. So this is what Figma's website looks like, right? So this is Figma's website. So when you're on this website, then you know you are on the right place. So we'll just go through what they have here, right? So we can see the products they have. They have Figma and FigJam. So Figma is like the collaborative UI UX design tool, right? That you can just use to do your normal user interface for design, prototyping, design systems, development. Excuse me. Yeah, this is what they have here, right? So for downloads, you can actually download Figma as a desktop application, right? So apart from Figma, they also have FigJam, right, which is also collaborative and it's used for brainstorming and planning for design sprints, all those things, right? So it's a an online whiteboard for teams. So this is basically what FigJam is all about, right? So we'll look at their pricing, right? So sorry, we're talking about Figma now. So Figma has a free starter plan, right? It also has professional organization and enterprise plans that you can actually sign up for and use. That's yeah. But however, you can get started with the free plan, and if you choose to, you can migrate to the paid plans based on your needs, right? So we also have the Fig Jam for whiteboarding, right? Which is also free, right? The starter plan is free forever, right? And we also have the professional plan and organization, and also the enterprise plans. So it depends on what the features you are looking out for, right? You can subscribe to any of them. But however, like I said, you can also get started with the free plan. It will also serve you, right, as someone who is just getting started. So they also have community and the community events and things like that. So we'll also look at all that as we proceed. So this is to contact their sales team. That's if yeah, to contact their sales team. So if you are new to Figma and you want to get started, so what you're going to do is to click the get started for free plan. Sorry, get started for free, right? And you can sign up. So I'll just use my email to I already have an account, Sha. So let me go ahead and log in. So if this is how to sign up, you can easily sign up. You can either sign up with your Google account, right? With your email, yeah, your Google account, or you can actually sign up with your email. So, but I'm going to um, log in, right? So I'm going to log in with my email and my password. Okay, so that's how you create an account on Figma, right? So okay, if you are following me up to this point, just you can comment following. Are you following me up to this point so we can proceed? All right, great. Okay. Okay, let's proceed. Nope. Okay. So this is Figma's interface, right? So we have this top navigation bar right here, right? So this is to add a new file to Figma. So if you want to create a new file, right? If you want to create a new file, a new design file, you can click here to create one. So let's just create one, right? Let's just create one. So just click here and you have a new design file. It's as simple as that, just one click, right? So let's return to the page. So if you want to create a fig jam board, right, you can just click this and you are in fig jam, right? So just one click, you are in fig jam and you can do all the cool stuffs you want to do, right, in fig jam. Okay, right. So we'll come back to these, right? So let's just proceed. So here at the sidebar, right, you have your account here. You can change your theme to light or dark mode, right? Looks cool though. So you can change your theme, right? You can go to your settings. You can get the desktop app from here. You can see your community profile. Like we mentioned earlier, Figma has a community. So you can, also log out from here and you can add another account if you have another account, right? You can add that to Figma as well. So here you also have notification icon. So from here you can access the notifications in Figma, right? All the notifications, all the messages you've got. Basically, we know what notifications are. So all the notifications you've got, you can access them from here. So if you want to search for your files, right? You can search for, let me say, Girls into Tech. think I have a file named girls into. So we can see that when I search for girls into tech, it's giving me files that I have saved here, right? With girls into tech or similar names, right? So or we can, it also has, yeah, basically that's it. So these are my drafts, right? These are my drafts. So you have recent. So this is where I am currently. These are all the files that I've worked on recently, right? So you have your favorite files. I don't have any favorite files. So here, right, these are projects, teams projects, right? So you can create a team. I don't know if you are following, right? So from here, you can create a team. So I can decide to create a new team. So all these are teams that I've created, right? All these are teams that I have created. So I can decide to create a new team and I can name the team. Let me say I name it Girls into Tech, right? Right? I'll create, then I can add team members, right? But I don't have any team members to add. So if I have team members to add, I'll just add their email right here. Add their email. If I want to add another person, I can add here to give me another space to add more another person as well. But I don't have any team members to add, so I'll just keep for now, right? So now I think I have to pay to be able to, complete it, right? So I can just choose my, okay, I can even create. So I chose the starter plan, right? And this is the team I just created now, Girls into Tech, right? So within the teams, yeah. So let me just show you how I got here. So let me go back to recents. So if you want to navigate to the teams you just created, right? You can see it here, right? You can just click on team project and you can access the team, right? You can click here as well to access the team, right? So within this place, we can add somebody, right? I think you can add somebody from here. Can invite somebody. Okay, this is where you see the number of people that you have on this project, right? So but we can invite somebody. We can either copy this link and send to people to join, right? Or we can invite people via email to this particular project. So when you're working on your capstone project for this course, you will be using some of these tools because basically you'll be working collaboratively and we want to implement everything that we have actually learned in this course, right? So this is where you can copy this and send to anybody to join, or you can invite via email. So when you have more than one person on this particular project, you can see them here, right? So I can add more projects to this team because I'm on a free plan. So okay, now within this team project, right? Here's what we can do. We can add a file, a Figma file, right? So this here, all these are called Figma files, right? So when I add a file here now, it will show. So let's go ahead and try it out. So let me say I want to add a file. So this is a Figma file now. I can name it um, file one, right? Ah, I don't know that name. Anyways, let's say test file one. So we've created this file, right, from our Teams project, right? So we've done that, and when you've created that, you will see it within here. So if I want to add another file, I can also click this plus sign to add more files, and so on and so on and so on, right? Right. So from here, you can view settings, you can copy the link, you can rename, you can change the icon, get, I can also delete this team, right? I can delete the team if I want to. So I think this is the view. Yeah, this is basically the display, how we want it to be displayed. This is where you can switch that, right? So let me just ensure that we've covered this homepage. So this is more like shortcut to Figjam, right? And it also has the I think this is a new feature though they added. So this AI in the Figjam, right? You can use it to create most of your you can use it to work within that within Figjam, right? So um okay, so recently viewed, right? I have shared files. These are files I've shared. I have shared projects. So I'll just stick to recently viewed, right? Um, you can filter by all the files. You can, yeah, I can basically filter by design files, FigJam, um, prototypes, right? I can filter by organizations. These are all those teams I created here, the teams I created, right? I can also filter by alphabetical order, dates created, the last viewed, newest and first, old, newest, right, first, like the latest projects I've done are the ones to come on top, which is how it is currently. I can also filter by oldest projects, right, or oldest files, I mean, right? So that is basically it on Figma. So here I can import a Figma file. Maybe someone sends me a Figma file. I can click here to import it. Can import from my computer. I can import from Jamboard, right? So basically that's it. So if someone sends you a Figma file, yeah, right. So you can import that from here. Um, okay. So that's basically it, right? So that's basically it. So we'll just go ahead and look at okay, before we go in, right? Let's look at the Figma community that we mentioned earlier. So when you click on, I'm not sure you saw that, you can see my cursor down here at the bottom, that's my left, at the bottom left, right? You can see explore community, right? So when you click on it, right? When you click on it, you can see so many things in the community. You can see so many things in the community. You can find design system, visual assets, development, icons, inspiration. There are so many things you can find here. So let's just and you can also, you can also publish your own things, right, to the Figma community so that people can reuse your assets for different projects and all. So let's just, or you can come here for UI kits, right? So let me say, what am I going to look for? FinTech app UI kits. So I can look for a FinTech app UI kit and I search, right? So you can see so many FinTech apps that people have designed and made them and publish them in the Figma community, right? You can see all of them here. So this one says CoinPay. Right? So let me just open it in a new tab. We can look at it later. So let me open it in a new tab, right? So that's it. It's loading up here, right? So we also have, so I'm viewing all. So you can decide to look for only files and templates. So within also the Figma community, you have plugins, right? So we'll look at plugins later. So you have plugins. So plugins are extensions, right, that you can install to Figma to actually extend the functionality of Figma to carry out different activities or do more things more than it can actually do. I hope I'm able to explain that properly. So you have widgets. You also have creators, right? So creators that are and match the search my search parameter. So, but let's go back to, there are no plugins, there are no widgets for fintech, there are no creators. So they only have templates. So, and we've actually opened a template in a new tab. So let's just look at the templates that we opened. So this is it. So we opened CoinPay FinTech Finance Mobile App UI Kit, right, from the community. So you have this design file. So from here you can see that 218 people like this, right? 12,001K people have actually duplicated this file. So this is where you can save, this is where you can, yeah, this way you can like it, this way you can save it, right? So these are comments, right? You can come here and read comments. People like this, right? And you can read here about the UI kit. So down here is where you can preview it, right? This is where we can preview this UI kit. Now, okay, so let's click here. This is the cover, right? This page is for the cover. So you can also click here to zoom in. You can click here to zoom out, right? You can click here to actually expand it, right? I think that's better for everybody. I think everyone can see it much better now. So you can navigate through different pages, right? With this here, you can navigate through different pages. They have the light mode, they have a dark mode, right? Um, the illustrations that was used, the design system, right? So basically, right here, you can navigate through everything. So this is basically a preview, right? So that's for the Figma community, right? So, but if I want, what if I want, I've looked at this and probably I like it and I want to get it, right? So I'll just simply click open in Figma, right? So once I click that, it has already been imported to my Figma, um, to my, yeah, my Figma account, basically. So I can access this from my Figma account. So let's just return to this place. So you can see that it's now showing here CoinPay FinTech Finance mobile app. It's now showing here. So you can use it for, I don't know, basically for inspiration and all, right? You can use it for inspiration. So that is that. Okay, so let's just return to, okay, we've not, okay, so let's just proceed to look at the Figma interface proper. So before we proceed, I would like to see if I have any questions or if you all are following and getting value from this class. Someone said it's not very clear. Oh, okay. Other people are saying it's clear now. Okay, a question. No, you can't use your phone. You have to use your laptop to access Figma, right? Not that you cannot open it, but you cannot really design with you know, with your phone. You have to use a laptop. But however, you can still open Figma and look at it with your phone. But yeah. Someone else, Lillian, no, you can't use your phone. You have to use a PC. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Thank you, True Talk. Said she's following, right? So we can proceed, yeah. Okay, yes, you can use kits created by others, but I would advise you just use them as inspiration, right? And however, um, most of them, so or some of them have um, how am I going to say it? You don't have the right to use it for commercial purpose, right? So you just, it's good you actually go ahead and read the license and understand what you can do with someone's work because it's actually their work. So most times they actually write what's the limitations of the license and all, right? So they'll tell you what and what you cannot do with your Figma file. But yeah, it's basically for inspiration. Well, someone shares to use her phone to work on Figma. It's not very convenient. In fact, it's not convenient. I've tried opening Figma on my phone and it's not convenient. I only use it to load up um, my animations to see what they look like, or sorry, my prototypes to see what they look like on mobile phone. So yeah. Okay, so let's proceed. All right. Where was I? Okay. So now we are here. We are going to go to our test file. So let me just open it in a new tab. Okay, so this is open now, right? So we're just going to um like I said, it's an introduction class. So I'll just introduce you to the features or the interface, Figma's interface, right? And what you can actually do right here. So, right. This is the top navigation bar, right? So we'll just look through the features one after the other, right? So this is a menu. This is like the main menu. You can see the name here. This is the main menu. So you can access different things from here, right? We can go back to our files from here. So when I click it, I have returned to my files, right? So, but I want to go back to the Figma file. So just notice the difference. What we created before is Teams project, right? But now we're in a file, right? This is a Figma file within that Girls into Tech team, right? So that is that. And okay, so we have looked at this menu. You can go back to files. These are quick actions. You can use it to search for, things that are within I call them features, right? So content within the menu, right? That's what you can use this place for. So we have the file, we have the new design FigJam file. We can use this to access that. So there are basically a lot you can do here, right? There are basically a lot you can do here. So we have also the plugins. So we'll look at plugins later, and widgets, preferences, libraries. So you can also get the desktop app from here and also get help. Okay, so this is the move tools, right? You can move just like I'm moving right now. You can scale if you have something, if you have, okay, let me draw something. Let me just draw a shape so we can use it to scale. So the move, right? I'm using it to move this this is a rectangle, this rectangle within um Canva. Sorry, I said Canva. Figma. So using it to move it around here, right? And I can use this to scale this actual shape, like to increase it. So here's what I can do with this. This is what it means to scale, right? I can shrink it, I can expand it, you know. That's what you use the move tools for, right? Move. So now the next thing is frames, right? You can get your frame from here. You can get sections, you can slice, right? So those are the features there. These are shapes. You have a rectangle, you have your line, you have your arrow. You see line, right? Just click on it and use your move tool to actually bring it to life. With that, I don't know if, for lack of a better word, I think that's it. So just when I select the arrow key, I'm using a mouse, so I'll just hold down I'll just left click and hold it down and drag. Yeah, so once you drag, you can um expand or extend whatever shape you've actually picked. So that's basically it. I'll just click here, select it, right? And bring it down here. So I just selected a circle. But what if, okay, but let's just look at all this first. Then we can actually, so I just selected a polygon right? I've just so this is for me to import an image, but we've not gotten to that. So this is a star for me to select a star, right? Now, if I want to import an image, okay, so I can import this image. So basically, what you do is just click on this, right? Now you have all this. So I'll just select this one, right? And I'll open it and you just click to drop it here, right? We can see that it's too large. So what I'm going to do is let me go ahead and collect my scale, right? Just pick up the scale and I'll reduce it. Use it to reduce it, right? I just hold it and drag it in to shrink, drag it out to actually expand it. I hope I'm explaining it well. Let me just know if I'm explaining it well in the comments. Please, if you understand it, just tell me that you understand it. So are you following? Do you understand what is going on or what I'm explaining? Yes, you can animate in Figma. Okay, yeah, people understand. All right. Okay, let's proceed. So that's basically about that, right? So now, before we move to the next tool here, right? So what if you can see that most of these shapes that we've brought in here, they are stretched, right? And which is not good, right? Depends on what you want to do though. But what if you don't want them stretched? You want them to be okay, not stretched. Let me use the word not stretched like this. So what you're going to do is let me just use a circle as an example. I think that would be okay. So what you're going to do is that you're going to hold your shift key, right? And you just left click and drag. You can see that this circle is a perfect circle. Unlike this one looks like an egg, right? So, but this is a perfect circle because I held my shift key and then I dragged. But if I just pick it up, if I just pick up a circle, like I just clicked circle and I just come here and just drag without holding my shift key, you can see that the circle is just is wobbling, it's just there and moving around and dancing and doing things that whatever it wants to do. But if I hold my shift key, right, I just pick up another circle, hold my shift key and drag. As you keep dragging, your circle is in a perfect shape, like it's a perfect circle. Same applies to every other thing here. Let me use the line, right? So this is me, the line is straight and is looking good, right? So let me pick a polygon, right? So let's say me hold my shift key. You can see that it is perfect, right? Compared to this one, I think Etseku explained this pretty much better than um, all the other shapes, I believe. So basically, that's that, right? So if I don't hold my shift key, it just keeps. Excuse me, sorry. It just keeps just doing this. But if you hold your shift key, but I think then it becomes a perfect shape. So I just hope that that's well understood. So I'll just go ahead and delete all of this, right? Okay, I'll just leave this one. Okay, so moving ahead, we have the um, pen tool, right? We have the pen tool. You have your pen tool, and that's not a perfect square actually, but this is basically what you use your pen tool for, drawing different shapes, and like there's a whole lot you can do with pen tool. Actually, there's a whole lot you can do with pen tool, right? So but you have your pencil as well, you know, you have your pencil too, right? So that's what you can find within this section, right? So let me just go back and take my move key so I can clean all of them up. right? So you also have your text too, right? So if I want to add a text, let me say I want to write um I'll just write girls into tech. Girls into tech. Right. So I like have to click this tool to be able to activate the text feature right here. So when I click on it, right, I can actually, write. Okay. So that's that. I can bring in the text into my work, right? So these are widgets, right? You can browse widgets here. What am I going to look for? Okay, so basically you can just search for widgets here. You can search for plugins right here. You can search for, oh sorry, these are components. Oh shit. Sorry. These are components, right? This is plugins and this is widgets, right? So if I have components that I've saved, that was why I was confused. So if I have components that I've created within this Figma file, right, I can search for them here. But if I want to get new plugins from the Figma community, right, I can also get them from here. So these are my saved plugins, right? So if I want more from the community, I can get them from here. So you have widgets, right? So this is what I thought was here. It used to be there actually. So these are widgets from the community. You can actually use them, right? So it's inserting that for me. You can see, right? So you can get that from the Figma community. Sorry, I said Figma community from that widget feature right here. So this is for dragging. You can use it to drag this around, right? You can use it to drag even my canvas, right? You can use it to drag it around. So this is for comments. Assuming I'm collaborating on a project with you, right? I can use this to comment here, right? I can say remove this, right? And I can add an emoji. I can tag somebody or mention somebody, right? Uh, so I can also upload and I can submit, right? So when I click on submit, you can see the my comments here, and yeah, when you just over on it, you're going to see my comments. So when you, right, open this file, you're going to see the comments I've left for you here, and you can quickly make improvements based on that. So when this is resolved, right, so when you click on it, right, so when you know that you've resolved this, you can click here to actually resolve it, right? So but when if you have something to say about this, you can ask me why, like why should you remove it, and send it and submit it, right? So when I come, I can actually see it. It's more like I said, Figma is very, very collaborative, right? So you can actually, do a lot of stuff. So I can actually come and reply and stuff like that. So that is that. And so let me just resolve this, right? I've resolved it, so we can't see it here anymore. Okay, so that is that. Okay, so this you can see people that are on this is where you find people that are viewing this file with you, right? So if there is someone else within this file, the person will have just the same way you have um, my name here showing J, right? The person can be somewhere around here showing A, right? A usually so most times it's anonymous when the person is not known. So when the person doesn't have a Figma account, the person can be anonymous, but we can have the person showing M. We can have the person showing but if your name is also or your name also starts with A, it will actually show that. So yeah, so you can spotlight the person, right? You can follow the person, but this is me. I can spotlight myself. I can get everyone to follow me, right? They can see where I am, right? And if someone else is here, I can actually click to follow the person and see what the person is doing on my file, right? So this is where you can share. Assuming I want to share this file with somebody, I can copy the link. If I want to embed it somewhere, I can use this. I can. This is for email, and all. So this is where I set my access, right? Permissions. Well, if I'll use that word, permission. So only people that who are invited to this file, right? So anyone with the link, I can set it that anyone with the link anywhere on the internet can access this file, right? Anyone with the link and password, anyone with any only people invited to this file. So people that are invited here can only access this file. So I can say anyone with the link. Then I can now set their permission or their access if they can edit or they can view, right? But since I am here, I'm the file owner, right? This is where you can see me. It's where I can see my status on this file, which is owner. So I've excuse me, excuse me. I've give me a second, let me take some water. Okay, so this is where assuming I want to publish this to Figma community, I can actually click here to publish it to the Figma community, and other people can see it the way we've actually seen other people's work, right? So that's that. So Figma also has this dev mode, right? So this is for developers, right? So this is the dev mode where they can see the CSS of the design you've made, right? They can see other code. I believe I'll call it framework or languages. I don't know the right word to use, right? So, but this is their own area, right, where they can actually, get insights to your design and be able to, implement it accurately for you. So that's what this area is for, to switch the mode. But since I'm not a developer, I'm switching back to my design mode. So yeah, before we move to this side, um, let's look at the zoom feature. So you can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can zoom to fit, you can zoom by a certain percent, you can zoom by 100%. So just look through this and just play around with these features. So let's look at this guy. So this is your preview section, right? So you can use it to preview your design if you've created any design within the Figma file. So you can present, right? So that it's not presenting because there is nothing, there is no frame, or there's no design here to present, right? And yeah, we can also preview. This preview happens um within Figma, but okay, let me just do something so that we can actually see how that feature works. So, and before I proceed, I'll just let you know something, or let me just do the frame thing. Okay, so for frames, right? When you click on frame, you can see different sizes of frames. You can see for iPhone 14 and 15 Pro Max. You can see iPhone 14 and 15 Pro, iPhone 13 and 14. So there are different frames. This is for iPhone. Sorry, this is for phones, right? This is for tablets, different sizes, or different sizes, different screen sizes. And this is for desktop. This is for presentations, this is for watch, for paper, for social media. You have your Twitter post, you have your Twitter header, you have Instagram story. Like there's so much here. Then you also have your Figma community sizes. You have the icon, profile banner, plugin, file cover, and you have your archive. So these are basically things I've used though. So so what else? All right, so let's just pick a frame. Let me say I like to use this. So let me say I pick this guy, right? If you noticed, okay, let me just play it first. Let's play the present. So you can see this is the frame we just added and it's showing here, right? And now, if you notice, even though we had this here before and we tried to, preview, we couldn't preview because this is not a frame, right? This is not a frame. So that is why. And anytime you're working in Figma, you must have a frame. You must use a frame, right? So that is how Figma works. So let's say we bring this into our frame. Now it's in our frame. Let's go ahead and look at the preview. So you can see that it is now showing. But before, when we had just this is an image. When we just had this image, right? We couldn't actually preview anything because Figma doesn't recognize it as a frame because obviously it's not, right? Um, okay, so that's that. And okay, so let's do the other one, the preview within um, this place. So this is where the preview happens, right? So you can see it in here. If you just want a quick preview without leaving the Figma file, you can just quickly just do that here, right? So that's it. That's that for this navigation bar. Excuse me. All right. So we are moving to the next section, this side nav navigation bar. So let me know if people are still following. Okay, so Lillian said, can I say that opening an app involves a UI designer and a developer? I don't understand what you mean by opening an app. Do you mean developing an app? You can respond. Let me know if that's what you mean. Okay. Um, okay, so yeah, all right. Okay, so let's proceed. I guess we are following. Okay, so the next area will be here, right? So here we have your layers and your assets, right? So your layers are they are like the content you have within the file, right? So here I can see my iPhone 13 um, mini, right, with this one, and then I can see as a frame, right, I can see the image that is inside, which is girls logo, right? So that's the name of this image, girls logo, right? So I can actually see that. So assuming I have another frame, let me bring another frame. Let me bring Android. Let me bring Android large. Right, so I've brought in my Android large. So you can see that it has been added here. So it's basically the frames that you have within this place and the content that is within it, right? Not only frames though. In fact, it's just basically everything that you have here. So even if I remove this one from here, I can still see it within the layers. So it's just all the content within the file that shows in the layers um, section, right? I think that's understood. So from here, I can actually lock this. When I lock it, right, I will not be able to move it anymore, no matter how I drag it, right? It will not be moved anymore. But see this guy that is not locked. Look at the padlock, it's not locked. I can drag it around. But this one is locked, I cannot move it anymore, right? So that's how I do that if I don't want to move it anymore. So I can also hide it if I don't want to see it anymore, right? You can see this one is still very visible. See the eyes are still open. But this one is hidden. I can't see it anymore because yeah, I hid it. So when I click on this, it becomes visible. I hope that's actually understood. So likewise, the content that is inside. So if I want to hide this girl's logo, I can simply close the eye and it's hidden. I can simply lock it if I don't want it to be moved around. If I don't want it to be moved around, but I can still move this frame. But because I locked the girl's image, I'm sorry, the girl's logo, right? I can't move it anymore, no matter how I click on it. So if I unlock it, I can be able to select it once again, right? So I hope that is explained. Now, let's say we have assets. So your assets are basically like your icons and all, right? That you've made into components, right? It's not only icons. I can make this frame a component. I can make this image a component. So basically, all your components are going to be found inside your assets, and you can search for those components using the search feature right here, right? Now, okay, something I missed here. So assuming I want to rename this page, this screen. So this is my, let me say this is my home page, right? This is my home page. So I would simply double click on this name and call it let me say I call it mobile home, right? I've named it home so that I can be able to organize the content that is within this file, right? So with that being said, so assuming I don't want to, there's also another way you can actually rename your what do you call it again? Your content or elements. Let me just use that word, right? Or your assets. So what you're going to do is you just click here. Click this name. Let me zoom in so you can see. You can just click this here, right? And excuse me. So just click this here and you can rename from here, right? You can rename it from here as well. So that's that for this. Okay, I'm not done with that section though. So this is page, right? So this is a page. Okay, so the um okay. I'm just trying to explain the hierarchy of things here. So this is a Figma file. So within a Figma file, you have pages, right? So this is page one, the default name. So you can see I have two free pages left, right? So let's rename this page. I don't want to call it page one, right? Um, let's say what do I want to call it now? Let me just call it anything. Uh, let me say awesome girls team. I don't know what to name it, yeah. Okay, so I've named this Figma page, right? Now I want to add another page. I'll just click this plus sign here, and then I can name it any other thing, right? Um, can name it Tech Girls, right? So we are in a different page. So within every Figma file, you can have several pages, right? So that's that for this section. Now, so we move to the inspector panel, right? Which is at the right. Excuse me. Which is at the right here. Okay. Um. So what does the inspector panel do? So you can use it to do a whole lot of things, right? So here you can use it to align content. Now let's see how that works. Let's say I have all these shapes. Okay, let me duplicate this. Uh, they have all these shapes like this. Now, you can see that they are not in a straight line. So I can align them however I want, right? Using this alignment feature. Now let's go ahead and do that. So let me just be teaching us some shortcuts as I proceed. So if you want to select multiple um things, let me use the word things, or multiple elements within your Figma file, you can just hold down your shift key and select all of them, right? So now what I'm going to do is I want to align them. So this is aligned to the left side, this is aligned to the center, This is to align to the to the right, right? This is to align to the top. This is align vertical, and this is align to the bottom. So let's start with this one. Let me say I want to align them to the left, right? You can see how they've become, right? Let's say I want to align them horizontal center. They're already looking that way though. Align them to they will not, it's not even showing itself. Okay, so let me say I want to align to the horizontal center, right? I'll just click on this. You can see it has aligned them for me, right? So of course, Control Z to undo, right? So please endeavor to take notes, right? So if I want to align to the right, I'll just select it and that is done. I want to align to the top, I'll just select it as well and that's done. I want to align to the center, I've selected it and I want to align at the bottom and that's that. So that's basically how you actually use this feature. So you can just go ahead, play around, and the more you use it, you are able to get used to it even better, right? Right. So okay. So this is for positioning, right? Let's move it around. You can see. Can you see? So this is for positioning, right? And this is for the width and this is for the height. So let me extend the width. You can see that, right? So this is for the height. I can also drag it from here to extend the height, right? Oh, that's affecting the width as well. So I can just drag it from here to extend the height, right? Now this is for rotation. In case I want to rotate this thing. This is for rotation, right? This for rotation. I can also impute the figure that I want. Let me say I want it to be 90 degrees. You see. So this is for corner radius. Say I want to add some curves to this square. Let me make it 40, right? You can see what it looks like. I can reduce it, right, and make it 8, right? You can see that. You can see what it looks like. I can also increase it and make it 100, right? You can see what it looks like. It's looking more like a circle now, right? Because it now has a lot of it has a lot of curves now. So I can bring it down to 16. So basically, that's what you can do with this. So, but if I don't want everywhere to have curves, right? I can simply click on this, right, and edit it. Maybe the top left corner, I just want it to be a sharp edge. I'll set it to 0. You can see now it has a pointy edge, right? I can say I don't want this corner, right, to be 16. I can also drag from here. You can see these dots here, right? I can also just drag it from here and say, okay, you can see it's now 96.5, right? Let me open it from here. You can see 96.5. So right, I can edit from here. I can hover and drag from here. I can if I want to make all of them uniform, I can say 16 and everything becomes uniform. So that's basically how to use that particular feature. Let me see if we're still following and I can take any questions. Well, the class is supposed to have ended by now, but okay, someone is asking, please, when Chinwe is asking when the class is ending. It's actually supposed to be a 1 hour class, right? But I just want to make sure that everyone gets value from the class and you're able to understand and learn how to actually use Figma, right? So that's why I'm actually taking my time to explain things as much as I can. Okay, so Lillian asked a question earlier. Yes, you actually need a designer and a developer to be able to build an app, right? You need both. Okay, so all right, so let's proceed from there. Okay, so that's that, right? So you can work on like the, what I call it, the lights, or um basically how, I don't know the term I'm going to use for it though, but you can do a lot of things. If you want this to be an overlay, right, you can actually select that and it becomes an overlay for whatever thing you want to work on. But that's basically what this is for. But I'll just leave it at normal, right? So you can reduce or increase the opacity from here, right? You can reduce or increase the opacity from here. I can make it 50% and it becomes a bit transparent, right? So I can use this to hide it, right? And it will be invisible kind of. So this is fill. If I want to add color to this, I can just use this to add color, and that's it. I use this to add color. If I want to add gradient, I can use this to add gradient. So maybe say I want to use two colors for this gradient, I can pick this, right? This is where you select the opacity though. If you want, like right now it's transparent, but I don't want it to be transparent. I can just say 100, and this is what it looks like, right? So this is basically how this particular feature works. So let's say I want to add a stroke to this, right? I can just click this plus sign, and this is where I set the color of the stroke, right? It's currently at this is where I set the color of the stroke though, but it's currently black, right? And I can increase the size of this stroke. I can make it 8, and you can see that it's very heavy now, right? I can make it I can make it 4. It's a bit lighter now, right? So I can decide where I want the stroke to be. If I want it to be outside, if I want it to be inside, if I want it to be inside, if I want it to be in the center, I can actually decide all that, how I want the stroke to appear. So that's that for here. I can hide the stroke, I can open it, I can remove it from here, and that is it. So this is for effects, right? So okay, this is for effects. I can add a shadow to this. I can add the shadow to this by just selecting from here, right? So that's a lot. That's a lot. So I can keep this at 8. I can make it blur 32, right? I can reduce the um I can reduce the opacity of this to 10, right? So I can do all that, and when I can say let me bring it in here, right? So let me just increase the opacity of that to 20, right? So I can use that to create a shadow. You can see that this has a bit of elevation. This is me just showing you how to use this. I'm not saying that you can see this has a bit of elevation around it, right? So yeah, that's how that is done, right? So okay. So for here, right, you can still add the colors, right? I forgot to show you this. So this, if you have a color in mind that you want to use, you can use this color picker to actually pick it. That's what this tool is called. It's called the color picker. So I've selected the color picker and I want to change the color to girls in text color, right? So I can just select this, and I've picked a color from the girls in tech logo, right? You can see that there are different shades within this same design, right? So I can just pick it, and the color is going to reflect here. So let me see normal. Okay, I can see where this is coming from 100. Okay, so that's that. I've already picked a color, and that's it. All right, this is the hex code of the color and all. This I can also reduce the opacity from here. I can pick different colors from it. So that's basically about the colors and all. So for effects, I've already shown you how to use effects. This now has a bit of shadow around it. So this is where I can find my local styles, right? But we did not create any style here. So we're going to go into creating styles much later when we start designing. So I can export, if I want to export this file, right, I can simply click on export, right? So I can simply click on export. So there are different formats. I can export as PNG, JPG, SVG, and PDF, right? So yeah, so I can preview what I want to export, right? And when I hit the export button, I've already exported this and it's been downloaded. You can see mobile home, right? I've downloaded that. So now, last but not least, what I want to show us today, um, you can see help and resources, right? So I want to show us where you can actually find there are so many shortcuts you can use in Figma to actually make your work easier and faster. So I'm going to show you where you can find these shortcuts, right? So this is where you have your help center, and also if you want to contact them, you want to find YouTube videos, release notes, legal summary, and all those stuff, right? But what I'm interested in here is the keyboard shortcuts, right? So when you click on it, you can see down here all the shortcuts available for you, right? All the shortcuts that you can use in Figma. So this is the essentials, color picker, quick actions. This is the first, and the category is in essential. So you have the tools, the shortcut to access the tools. You can see the move key, the move tool. When you click on V, you get the move tool, right? When you click on F, you can see you can get the what do you call it again, the frame tool, the pen tool, likewise the same. So using all this, you can be able to understand all the all the shortcuts available in Figma. You can add comments by clicking C. You can pick a color by clicking I, slice to by clicking S. So all that, right? So you have this one as well. Um, Basically, this section is just for shortcuts. So when you come in here, you can just take your time to learn about these shortcuts and actually use them in your Figma design. So I think that brings us to the end of today's class. You can see how long it has taken us to explain just one tool. Imagine we are explaining all the tools that we mentioned. That means we're not going to take. So that's actually all for Figma, right? So any questions? Okay, someone said if you can talk to me personally. Well, that's fine. You can talk to me personally. So, so that's all for this class. Any more questions before we end the class for today? Okay, I'm not seeing any questions. Okay, so if you've gotten value from this class today, yeah, can you just type in value, right? Because I'm all about value. I like giving value, right? So if you've gotten value from this class, you can just go ahead and type in that. And okay, where did I press to bring out shortcuts? All right, let me just show you that once more. So if you can see my cursor, right, there is this question mark, like I told us yesterday when we were discussing that. So when you see this question mark, you know that basically is help. It's where you get help, right? So there's this question mark right here. You can just click on it. So just scroll down to where you have keyboard shortcuts, right? Where you have keyboard shortcuts. What am I speaking? Keyboard shortcuts, right? So when you click on it, you can see all the shortcuts that you have that you can use. You can tools, view, zoom, you know, control zoom in, control plus, control minus to zoom out. So anyone you see highlighted, these are the shortcuts that you have used, right? I've used most of it. I don't know why they are not highlighted though, but the highlighted ones are the ones that you have actually used, right? And the ones you've used. Oh, okay. So I think that's it. You can just navigate within that to actually find what you're looking for. I hope that answers your question. Yes, you can make use of the slides too. If you click on it, I believe it should be working. Maybe your network is not okay. I don't know. Your network is not strong or something, but yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So that will be all for today. I'm not seeing any more questions here. So I'll see you all in our next class, probably by tomorrow. Okay. Good night.